the collective West has tried to isolate Russia diplomatically, and we've heard from the mouth of Liz Truss and other people that Russia is now isolated and has no friends. But I don't know if you saw a report in Bloomberg on the 6th of October. What day are we today? The 8th, so it's 2 days ago. Saudi-Russia axis agrees to cut oil production by 2 million barrels a day. Do you know how many Western leaders have gone to pay court to MBS in Riyadh? Boris Johnson, Joe Biden, Olaf Scholz, and Emmanuel Macron. And what has the answer been? Instead of agreeing, forgive me that vulgarity, instead of agreeing to the supplication of these Western leaders who all went to the court of the Saudi Crown Prince, conveniently forgetting, of course, that, as we all know, Saudi Arabia invaded Yemen about 7 years ago, instead of him agreeing to increase production or not to cut it, it was a Saudi-Russian axis, according to Bloomberg, which agreed this 2 million barrel a day cut to, of course, keep the oil price up. This is, in terms of diplomatic history, this really is a watershed moment. Why? Because the post-world order, which was created in 1945, as we all know, on the basis of the outcome of the Second World War, includes, among many other things, an axis between the United States and Saudi Arabia, which was symbolized by the meeting between the then Saudi king and President Roosevelt on board an American warship in, I think, near Aden, the USS Quincy. It's a very symbolic moment. This event has been invested with more importance than it probably really had. But the fact that Roosevelt went from Yalta, where the United Nations was set up and where the borders of Poland were discussed, to meet the Saudi king and to discuss, among other things, Jewish immigration into Palestine, but also, of course, oil partnerships. The fact that this took place the day after he left the Crimea, the day after he left Yalta, has, as I say, given it a symbolic importance which it largely deserves. That American-Saudi access has now been replaced by a Saudi-Russia